Hey, Mrparka here to review one from MVD. This is the new Richard Griffin movie, Future Justice. I believe they had another cover on here originally. It's this one right here was the other cover. I actually prefer that cover on there, if you guys have seen the poster. Essentially, if you guys are not familiar with Richard Griffin, he's a very, very busy independent director. He makes like at least 4 movies a year. I think this year, or last year, Sins of Dracula, Frankenstein, the Wax, Frankenstein's Wax Museum and the Hungry Dead, and Normal, bunch of stuff. He always is busy, and he usually releases pretty quality output, especially in the indie scene. But anyways, Future Justice is actually probably one of his most ambitious films, I'd say. And it has such a huge cast for such a small budget. One of the things I really like about Richard Griffin's movies is he always utilizes like a lot of the same actors and actresses, and the movies seem like a family, like a close-knit family, and they seem to get things done very quickly. He's not afraid to play with different color lighting and stuff like that. I always think that's cool. And the thing is, this isn't my favorite of his movies, but I enjoy it. It's a sci-fi flick. Essentially what you have here is kind of the DEFCON 4, some people taken a prisoner somewhere end up coming back to Earth and realize that pretty much the nuclear holocaust happened. So then it sets up this kind of assault on Precinct 13 style fight between these baddies and these survivors and the military guys with the prisoner who they have to work together with, trapped in this building, and it kind of pits that kind of thing. A very Sultan's Precinct 13, very John Carpenter style. And that's pretty much what we get here. What I was really satisfied with in the movie is there's like at least 20, maybe 25 characters with speaking lines, and they all develop a pretty decent or big-sized character, which got to be hard to do, to have like 25 different voices in a movie and have them come across this different. I think that is a pretty big accomplishment. I also think like the plot of the film is fairly ambitious, and the location's pretty cool. But I wasn't too big on the digital effects. A lot of digital effects, a lot of people getting shot in the head and the splatter. I don't think it looked that great, but again, made on a budget, and time constraints probably really didn't let practical gore and stuff like that, too much of it happen. But there is some practical effects in here as well, and those look pretty good. What happens in the movie is they add another layer of scientific experimentation, which is a big thing in these sci-fi futuristic movies as well. And they add that into the whole mixture of this, and the two groups kind of have to form an unlikely bond to fight this experimented man who is like a monster and hiding in this old building. I like the idea of that. I wish there was more monster in it, and I wish that maybe they would have made the bond between the bad guy and the good guy, or the groups coming together, a little bit more viable. It just kind of fell into it, you know. I mean, it didn't. I know it should be like that, but it was just kind of hard to believe that they would just be like, okay, fine, let's do it. But I really like the lead bad guy in this movie. I think he probably steals the show. He's having a lot of fun with it. Also, kind of like chewing the scenery, but doing really good and fitting in the movie really well. So I dug his performance quite a bit. The main hero's pretty cool as well. And there's a really weird, zany character who's out there. She's interesting as well. Lots of characters in the movie. Fairly well acted, really ambitious. Not big on the digital effects. I wish that with this movie, with a bigger budget, even though it does well with its small budget, I think that with a bigger budget we could have got more monsters and more practical effects, and I think it would have pushed that over to make it like a real winner. As it stands, it's pretty decent, pretty cool, especially if you like Richard Griffin movies, and I do. I enjoy seeing all the same actors and actresses pop up in different roles and things like that. There'll be a release date when this is coming out. This movie also has commentary, which is really cool, and a really bizarre short film, Mutants of the Apocalypse, as they usually always have short films on there. But this is Future Justice from MVD. Really enjoy Richard Griffin's style, and most of his movies I really dig, and even the ones I don't love, I at least enjoy. Like I said, I enjoy watching his stuff. He's one of my favorite indie directors out right now, just because the bulk of stuff he puts out, and usually it's pretty different, but always you can tell, like a good artist should be, always different, but yet still has that same flavor from him. But I'm Mrparka. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good one.
Deployment orders. Origin: Titan Moon Base and Cryo Internment Facility. Destination: Cape Canaveral AFS, Earth. Escort transport of insurrectionist Python Diamond for sentencing proceedings before the Court of Supreme Justice. Be advised that the prisoner has a history of violent behavior.
You've got 4 months, Diamond. 4 months to watch your last seconds of sunlight dwindle. 4 months to watch Earth get closer. What is it, Drake?
Take a look at this, sir.
That's impossible. Structural damage is heavy. We've got multiple airstrikes against most major metropolitan areas.
Appears we are returning to a world somewhat unlike what we left.
Sir, what about the con?
This is a suicide mission.
What happened here?
Nobody really knows what happened, at least none of us do. A couple of nuclear bombs went off halfway around the world.
Last man on Earth, huh? Fuck yeah.
Son of a bitch, they found us.
You got back to a world gone to hell.
We gotta get it down to the bunker!
Got him cornered and he got him hurt.
Clear the couch!
Cover.
Supper time, bitches!
Full of sound and fury. Signifying nothing.
Get her! Move! Move!
What the fuck is that?
Ranger Rick and the Starship Troopers are gonna save the fucking day, right? Bullshit! Who wants a hug, folks?